Assemble the Warband! Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I'm Andrew, and today I have got a book tag for you, but before we get into that book tag, make sure you're liking and subscribing so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. And guys, this is the Build Your Own Warband book tag that was created by the brothers Gwynne, who kindly tagged me in their original tag. I'm going to go ahead and have that linked down below in the description, as well as all the prompts, if you so want to do this one yourself. I'll also be tagging some people at the end so that we can kind of just see whose warband is best, which obviously I think it's mine because I'm going to give you all of my answers. This is 9 questions, and yeah, we're going to try and build the best warband using these books. Now, starting off, we've got our leader, and I had to do some thinking on who I wanted my leader to be. And I wanted somebody who could outthink everybody, who was always one step ahead, who could really just be like this master puppet, getting everybody into position to get the outcome that they wanted. And I could think of nobody better than Vetinari from the Discworld series. Vetinari is like, as you read the City Watch, because Vetinari is very much heavily in the City Watch, you always realize, like, he's always in control. He always knows what's going to happen. And if Vetinari's doing something, you can bet it's probably because Vetinari wanted that to happen. And for that reason, like, I couldn't think of anybody else to slot into that role. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Commander Vimes. I could have gone with Corbin from The Faithful and the Fallen because, you know, Brothers Gwynne. But, no, we're going to go with Vetinari because, I mean, the man is a mastermind. Like, the way his brain works is just terrifying. There are certain times in the Discworld series where you're just like, oh, Vetinari was never in any danger. He was always in control. And frankly, that's kind of not only scary, but really inspiring as well, because he's kind of steering Ankh-Morpork onto a path that he thinks is going to work best for it. And so for that reason, I think he has all of the qualities that are perfect for leadership. Next up, we've got our champion for the second prompt. And this is from a recent read. I like to incorporate new books and new characters as I, do these tags. And so I came across Asha here in The Rise of the Ranger by Philip C. Quintrell. And let me tell you what, the reason I'm picking Asha as my champion is because the man is just a powerhouse. He's got magic at his disposal. He is a wizened... I say wizened, he's like 49, 50, so he's been around the block for a while, and he is a awesome assassin. And if you go up against him, chances are he's going to kill you. And so for that reason, like, if you put him in a situation, especially if he's blind, the way his magic works and the way he was trained is like he was trained without his sight. So no matter what you really do to him, like if you blind him, you're just making him more powerful. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with Asha, who is here on the cover of Rise of the Ranger as my champion. Because, he's got that experience. He's got that, you don't always have to fight with the most skill. It's okay to fight dirty sometimes because, sometimes as you get older, the knees, the back, whatever. Do whatever you got to do to survive. And I think Asha's got that mindset. And I think he'd make a great champion. Next up, 3, our Councillor. And this one, I decided to go with Ethan Aurelius here from the Cradle series. And he makes his debut here in Soulsmith. And the reason I'm going with Ethan is he's got this magical ability where he can spread out his senses. And he kind of knows what's going on. Pretty much all of the conversations in with like a 3-mile radius of him. And so this allows him to always be in the right spot or give good advice or give forewarning. And also, there's a deeper mystery surrounding Ethan. He's kind of this mysterious figure, this great benefactor to Lyndon. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with Ethan because I think that with Ethan steering and giving advice, Lyndon wouldn't have gotten to where he was going without Ethan. And for that reason, I think he would make a fantastic counselor. All right, next up is the Magician. And so I went with the book Magician because... what other choice was there? I mean, I guess you could do Gandalf, but no, it's going to be Pug. Yeah, it's going to be Pug. because Pug is awesome. I don't care what Alan says. Pug is a great name for a wizard, and frankly, I just love like Pug's journey and his story, where he starts out as like this boy who doesn't really have any worth, and he like rises up and becomes this magician's apprentice, and from there starts learning the art of magic, and then where he like ends up at the end of this trilogy is like he is pretty much all powerful, but not really. Like, he's got limits, but like when it comes to conflict, you do not want to be going up against Pug, because Pug will probably win. So yes, we're gonna go with Pug here from the Magician. And Alan, I'm not sorry. All right, number 5, Swordsman. I'm gonna go with Kamaris here in To Green Angel Tower, or, you know, Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. Basically, back in history, Kamaris was this legendary knight, and he had the sword Thorn that only really he could lift. He wielded it with deadly efficiency, and, you know, he's this old wizened man who is still very much a force to be reckoned with. And so, both my Axemen and my Swordsmen are going to be older characters who have been around the block quite a bit, and who are people you don't want to mess with. And so we're going to go with Kamaris here in Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. Alright, and next up we've got the Axemen, like I mentioned before, and for that one, it could only be one person, and that's going to be Druss from Legend. Like, I mean, Druss is just so cool. He's Captain of the Axe. I remember meeting Druss in this book, and he's like this old man, and he just starts like coming out of retirement. He starts walking to go take care of business, and he's like complaining about his knees and stuff like that. But like when he gets to what he's doing, or when he draws Snaga, you best watch out, because he's not playing around. And for that reason, man, like, Druss had to make the list because he's probably my favorite Axeman. Although, again, going Lord of the Rings, I could have gone with Gimli, but no, we're gonna go with Druss, because don't mess with Druss. Deathwalker, like, the name, his nicknames alone are just like, oh, that's not a man you want to mess with. Alright, number 7 is our Archer. And because this tag was created by the brothers Gwynne, I had to include something from John Gwynne. And so, of course, we're going to be talking about Camlin. And, I mean, Camlin, he starts out as kind of like this kind of iffy character out the series. But, man, by the end of his story arc, I was just like, yes, Camlin. Like, he was one of my favorite. Honestly, this series is just probably still one of my most favorite reads that I've read since discovering BookTube. And so Camlin's going to be the Archer, because not only is he a killer shot, but like, man, like his whole story arc is just fantastic. So yes, Camlin makes the list. Now we are approaching the end here, and it's number 8, the Animal Companion. And I wanted to choose one that I haven't really talked about before, because I could have gone Night Eyes, I could have gone something else. No, I'm going to go with Beazle. And Beazle is he's an animal companion here in Otherland. And I use the air quotes is because he's actually a piece of AI software, but he is a spider, basically, interface that is within Orlando's AI environment. So he always shows up as like a cartoon spider, and he's got like a Brooklyn drawl from like the noir era. And so it's very interesting getting to talk with Beazle. So I like Beazle, and so I'm going to consider him an animal companion, mainly because I just want to. So, you can't stop me. Alright, finally, our wild card. Well, who am I going to choose for the wild card? I wanted somebody who was going to be a realist in all situations. And, you know, he was going to tell you exactly how it is, who will look at a situation and basically go, okay, here's the deal, here's what's going to happen. We're either probably going to die, or we're going to succeed. And so for that reason, I went with Kel Crassia, because I have not read a more realistic character who is just like, hey guys, you know, this is a death mission. I don't really want to do this. Or, hey, you're foolish for accompanying us on this mission. You should probably turn back. And so Kel he's got the experience. He is a hero of legend, but like, I just happen to be swept up in the events, and I've ended up here. And so you've called me, I've come, this is a bad idea. And so I just love Kel's characterization, and for that reason, I am going to go with him. Now, I'm going to name some people, nominate them to make their own war bands. And for that reason, I am going to go with Tall Guy Reeds, because frankly, I just want to see him do the tag. Next up, I'm going to go with my good friend Joanna, because frankly, she loves Malazan, and I expect somebody from Malazan to make her warband list. And then I am also going to go with Library of a Viking, because frankly, if you're going to have the Library of a Viking, you should be able to make a very good warband. And then lastly, we are going to go with my BookTube big sister, Leslie, the Nerdy Narrative. Mainly because I just love Leslie so darn much, and I want to see what she does with this tag. That's it, guys. That is all I have got here for you. Comment down below what some of your warbands are. And yeah, let's have a good old discussion in that chat. And as always, like, subscribe. You can sign up for the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. And guys, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.